flash, cameras clicking quick. Showtime, super Gringo slick. Headlines buzzing like a mix. 20 seconds, that's the fix. Short and sharp, just like a dart. Gringo's antics steal your heart. In a flash, the show will start. Super shorts, that's where we part. Short and sharp, just like a dart. Gringo's antics steal your heart. In a flash, the show will start. Super shorts, that's where we part.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I thought maybe I'd do a flashback from some memes I made during the election. I especially enjoy the one, the prices are rising. God, I like kids. You gotta watch that one. That one is definitely the funniest.
So Donald Trump has picked his new running mate, J.D. Vance. Trump looked for someone he knew would be a rubber stamp for his extreme agenda, and make no mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country. And unlike Mike Pence, Vance said he would have carried out Trump's plan to overturn the 2020 election. He supports a national abortion ban and voted against protecting IVF. And if elected, he will help implement the Extreme Project 2025 plan for a second Trump term, which would target critical programs like Head Start and Medicare. But we are not going to let that happen. So
to put it simply, it's now up to the states. And like Ronald Reagan, I'm a believer in the exceptions, the 3 exceptions, as you know, and rape, incest, life of the mother, the danger for the life of the mother. And we have a situation now where it's in the states' hands, and the states are going to be voting. The last thing people want, the people are going to be voting. The last thing people want is for that to go back into the federal government. It was always fought, and very importantly, and people wanted it, they wanted it back in the states where it belongs legally and for a lot of other reasons.
So you wouldn't support a national ban?
No, I wouldn't support a national ban. No, I would not.
The victims of the Democratic playing card deck. This group makes up the core of the voting element as far as the Democratic Party goes, and thus helps the most to promote the leftist cause. These are the people who think they've been wrong or disadvantaged, or have been told that they've been wronged or disadvantaged. They're also being told that the opposing parties, Republicans and conservatives, are out to wrong them and disadvantage them even further. These are the things commonly referred to as playing the race/age/gender/class card. This is used very often by liberals, so get ready to hear a lot of it. It works, it is effective, and this second group of people, the victims, falls for it very easily. As a result, they become slaves of the liberal mindset. Look no further than how the Democrats try to scare African Americans into believing that Republicans are holding them down, how the Democrats try to scare middle-class Americans into thinking Republicans are hurting the middle class, and how the Democrats try to scare women into thinking Republicans are against their rights. Democrats also frequently try to scare senior citizens into thinking Republicans want to destroy Social Security. Look at the key words mentioned in these accusations: against, holding down, hurting, destroying. In essence, it is fear-mongering targeted at certain groups of people in society, and it works. These Democrats and leftists attempt to spin the issues into backing up this fear-mongering, and people listen to it. And as a result, this entire second group is formed the victims of the Democratic playing card deck. These people often do not know much about the issues, especially as far as fact and reality goes. What they do think they know, however, is that Republicans and conservatives are completely against them and trying to hold them down, or their issue, in general. They believe the way they do because of the total spin and fear-mongering they hear from Democratic and liberal leaders. They then go out and vote for these said Democrats, and become strong leftists, mostly out of fear and loathing of the other side values instilled into them. Furthermore, they become very likely to start calling conservatives bigots and racists, because of the lies that the liberal left has drilled into their heads.
When the ship is sinking, but you got this because you've gone down thousands of times before.
Make sure y'all put prayers for Donald Trump and check out this important message from this guy right here.
Less than 24 hours ago was an attempt on President Trump's life. And I'm watching the news feed, and I noticed a lot of veterans been triggered by this assassination attempt. And it affected a lot of combat veterans. I couldn't watch the video no more than twice. Now I just want to let all the combat veterans out there, you're not alone dealing with this, what happened to the President Trump, our commander-in-chief. But what I want to say what President Trump did, he showed resilience. He showed steadfast. He showed leadership. By him putting his hand up, he's saying we're going to fight. And we've been fighting this journey for a long time. And President Trump, we salute you. And all the combat veterans out there, you're not alone. God bless America. God bless Trump and his family.
Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button.
What do you mean they missed?
You missed, bitches.
And for those that are still in doubt that they've been lying to you this entire time, he actually said it. Here's part 2.
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow. I've rejected David Duke. I've rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
David Duke is saying to his supporters and followers, vote for Donald Trump. White supremacists are saying, vote. Do you want those votes?
No, I don't want them, and I don't want him to say it.
And you don't want the supporters?
No, I don't want anything.
What do you think of white supremacists, by the way?
I don't like any group of hate.
David Duke announced his Senate candidacy, claiming your agenda.
Are you ready before you ask the question?
Newt Gingrich said every Republican should repudiate this guy no matter what it takes.
And I do. Rebuked. Is that okay? Rebuked.
Rebuked.
Done.
Do you want white supremacists to vote for you?
No, I don't at all. Not at all.
I'm like the president, but for stupid people.
fabulous. Price is rising!
Whoa! Bob Barker looks terrible.
Ew. Oh, he's even older than I thought.
Folks, please, Bob Barker is dead, and I'm your president, Joe Biden.
It looks like a Halloween decoration.
Oh, come on, man. Now, welcome to The Price is Rising, where you guess how much the cost of common household goods has changed during my pregnancy. Because guess what? Bidenomics is working. Let's bring out our showcase model, Trixie. She's so pretty, beautiful. She's 25 but doesn't look a day over 17. I love kids. Okay, let's meet our contestants.
Hey, I'm Nate. I'm from Norfolk, Nebraska.
I used to drive an 18-wheeler through Norfolk.
I don't think you did.
Who's next?
I'm Chip. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I used to work the oil fields in Tulsa.
No, you didn't.
Okay, who's next? Who are you?
I'm Martha, and I'm from Grove City, Ohio.
Oh, I once captured a crotch rat. Sasquatch in Grove City.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Where's Jackie? Jackie, are you here?
Who, Jackie?
She was going to be here. Jackie. Anyway, let's see our next item.
First item.
Boneless chicken breasts. 3 years ago, you could get that for $1. How much do you think they cost now?
$5.15, Crypt Keeper. I mean, President Joe Biden.
$8.40. $10.60, sir.
Let's see the actual price. $8.44. Chip is correct. Oops, wait. It just went up to $10.60. Now Nate is right.
Yeah!
God love you. Bidenomics is working. Next, we have something that we're all familiar with. It's a giant plastic garbage bag used to pour gasoline. That fuel smells almost as good as you, Trixie. You know, I'd hit on you if you weren't sleeping with Hunter already. I love kids. Now, contestants, guess the price.
$87.50, Gollum. I mean, President Biden.
93. Hold on, what happened?
Biden's administration shut down another pipeline and the price went up again.
Oh, come on, man. I wouldn't pay that much for a plastic bag full of anything.
Hunter has.
Never mind. I'm going to outlaw gas stoves and gas cards so we won't need gasoline anyway. Bidenomics is working.
Why do you keep saying that? Who are you whispering to?
Our next item is one of the most expensive things money can buy. A dozen eggs. Come on, man. Where's the other egg?
I tried to steal one. They're extremely valuable.
All right. How much do you think that costs?
$2.95, Methuselah. I mean, President Biden.
$3.50. $4.
And the actual price is? $6.70.
$6.70 for eggs? Looks like I'm having corn pops for breakfast.
Corn pop? Where is he?
Corn pops. You know, the food.
I thought you were talking about Corn Pop the dude. Oh, you made the hair on my leg stand up.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I know about Corn Pop and about roaches and about the hair on my legs. Bidenomics is working.
How is it working? All the prices keep going up.
Oh, come on, man. Lots of prices are coming down. Guess the price of hotel junk fee.
What's a hotel junk fee?
Who cares about hotel junk fees? Is that like when they charge you for the continental breakfast?
Let's see the actual price. No hotel junk fees. Bidenomics is working.
None of this makes any sense. Everyone is getting poorer because of your policies.
That's a bunch of malarkey. I got a lot richer. I got 10% for the big guy. And Zelensky got much richer. Guess how much I sent to Ukraine?
$40 billion.
80 billion? I don't know, infinity $1 billion.
I'm still sending them more. So Chip is the closest without going over.
How are you even hosting this show right now? Who's in charge while you're not at the White House?
Kamala is in charge, just like when I'm at the White House. That's it for today's episode of Jeopardy! I'm Joe Biden, reminding you to get your transgender athletes spayed and neutered before they compete in female sports.
What is he talking about? No idea.
I don't disagree with him.
Being spayed, it's like a hysterectomy. I think it's more of a disadvantage because they stick to your legs when you run.
Wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise.
In case people haven't been watching my other video, the diaries are real. I'm going to take you to more prominent people, sites, to show you, yes, Sniffy Joe is a pedo. And it doesn't seem to be a problem for the loony left, though. Anyway, first is, what's his, David. I'm trying to entertain, valuetainment, I think it's called. Anyway, he's the first, actually, he wasn't the first one I heard it from. I heard it from Timcast IRL first, and that's when I started the research, which is usually what gets me into my research, hearing someone else talk about it, and I go, wait a minute. So, here's valuetainment. I can't remember his first name. Andrew David or something like that. But here it is.
The part that is not untrue is the diary, the journals coming out.
Oh, the journal's 100% factual because she tried, what is this, Rob? This is the diary claim. Snopes has updated
Patrick
it. Used to be
Davis.
Mixed.
It was. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. Now they are verifying.
Are you kidding me?
That the diary does in fact belong to Ashley.
No, Snopes just adjusted it.
Yeah, Snopes adjusted it because Ashley wrote the letter to the judge saying when the girl.
Read that bottom, by the way. That's the key. So, okay, go to the top, Rob. Go all the way to the top. That shows what? Have contents of Ashley Biden's diary been verified? Go a little lower. So, a diary authored by President Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, describes showers taken with her father when she was a child as not appropriate. Then, on the bottom, look what they say. Note, on April 29, 2024, this is a month ago, Snopes changed the rating of this fact check from unproven to true.
Weird.
Based on testimony provided by Ashley Biden in an April 8 letter to New York judge requesting jail time for one of the two people convicted of stealing her diary. Biden wrote, "I will forever have to deal with the fact that many personal journals can be viewed online." Previous version of this fact check noted strong evidence that the diary existed, but argued that no source had authenticated the content of the published online writing the authenticity of the photographs perpetrated to be from a diary. And they said, "Wow."
Now, and remember, I reported this, PBD, and I said that she stated she was overly sexualized when she was young. She said, "I don't even want to talk about this family of friends' house that she would go to." She was like probably molested, and then she wrote, "I was showers with my dad." Probably inappropriate. So for you to have the know-how at that age to say, I shouldn't have been showering with that. Hypersexualized at a young age, along with mentions of not liking to visit certain families' houses, being sexualized with a female friend, and having sex with my friends at a young age, and showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. She's been trying to, mind you, her father, she wrote in the diary, Joe Biden called her crying because during the election, this was out. People were talking about it. They went after
Joe Biden. Called her crying
because of what she was going to go through if this got out. Because the information. Because this was.
How do you know Joe Biden was crying?
It's in the diary that she called him. She says that he was crying because this type of stuff was going to get leaked. It could get in China's hands. It could get in Russia's hand. But at the end of the day, I wish somebody could sit her down and say, Ashley, I'm sorry it had to happen. You left your diary, so somebody took it and tried to sell it to James O'Keefe's, Project Veritas. He didn't want it. They tried to sell it to the Trump campaign. Trump's campaign said, we don't want it. It's not verified. Don't even come at us with this. But come to find out that it's true, I think somebody should sit her down, Pat, and say, listen, we're sorry for everything that you've gone through. Your brother's obviously, your father's done a horrible job because you guys are both messed up people. You both are in therapy. Your brother records every single deviant action that he does. What happened with your father? Can you please elaborate? At what age were you having those showers with your father? When were you sexualized? Like, I know it's personal, but it's out there. The information is there. And if your father is called Pedo Pete, there has to be some type of fire there. There's smoke. So I think somebody needs to ask.
What do you think about this?
Oh, well, I'll just compartmentalize these two different stories here. I have zero issue with him, with Jill Biden. They've been married 45 years, guys. So let's just, you know how hard it is to stay married 7 years, the 7-year itch, much less 10 years, much less 20 years. You've been married how long?
You know about this how?
Tom, how long you been married? Tom, how long you been married?
22 years.
Okay, it's hard. So 45 years. Allegedly, he proposed 5 different times. 9-year age difference. I don't see any issue whatsoever with what's going on with Jill.
Do you see any issue with showering with his daughter?
Now, what I will say is whatever happened with Ashley Biden definitely seems creepy. I know he has the nickname Sleepy Joe. You might want to change it to Creepy Joe.
It is creepy.
But do you think she's going to talk? No. Do you think she's going to come out and say anything? No. Do you think the American people actually really genuinely care about this when there's inflation and cost of living? I don't see this being a massive story. I think the Hunter Biden thing was way more ridiculous. But yeah, if people can talk about this all they want, if this is something that motivates you, go for it. But specifically
that's
with
weird.
Jill, I don't think it's an issue.
American people don't care about pedophilia.
I think it is a big issue with all the sex trafficking and pedophilia and the Epsteins and all the shit that we have to be hearing all the time that gets swept under the rug. If the president, the sitting president of the United States, has been on camera grabbing young girls, sniffing them, making them uncomfortable, I don't care who you are. Seeing that bothers me, and I'm not even a father. I'm not a parent. And those people just stood there and they're laughing. He's been getting away with it for years. They protect this type of freaking behavior. And for his daughter, this is proof, 100% proof. She said it. I didn't write it. I didn't say it. She's saying that, and the son is...
By the way, stay on that. So
Yeah.
what do you think? You think that is... You think that the fact that Snopes, like if I'm Trump,
yeah,
I'm using that.
For 1,000%.
So I'm going to say, so Snopes was protecting you. Then on April 29th of 2024, it flips from, what do you call it? Can't verify to now it is true that it happened. Do you think Trump could use that as a similar story he used with Clinton rape Hillary in the debate?
Would Trump use something like this? You betcha. Look, it seems creepy.
Yeah, I think.
None of us know what happened, but what I will say, the only way you'll get a smoking gun is if the daughter of the president, by the way, she's the daughter of Jill Biden. She's not the daughter, like how Hunter and Beau were from a different mother that died, I guess, in a car accident years prior.
Yeah.
Is if she comes out and says something, she's the only witness. So, no witness, no crime. So she'd have to come out and say, yes, this happened. What's the likelihood of her ratting on her dad? Less than zero? So
it's not about this is worse than ratting. This is you send an email asking to give my journal back, verifying everything that's in the journal that is now public. Rob, can you see some of the strange things in Ashley Biden's journal? Just kind of pull that up. I've never even looked into this, just so you know that. This is the first time I am asking someone to Google
Vinny
this
reads
or
it every
search
night.
this. No, what I'm saying is I haven't, but I think people need to. If this is now officially true, what's in the journal? Well, Newsweek is definitely not going to talk about it. The other day, Newsweek said that Tucker signed with Russian TV. So they're not going to, Reuters is not going to tell you who actually wrote what's in the journal. So maybe the way you got to do it is you got to go Ashley Biden in the journal and then go to images and see notes. Oh, there it is. I found this one here. Okay, so this is the one that is out. Was I molested?
Yep.
I think so. I can't remember specifics, but I do remember trauma. I remember not liking the Wolzak's house. I remember somewhat being sexualized with Caroline. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. I mean, that's in the journal. These are weird things to be said. So what
I think it'd be important to distinguish what she just said is that the sexualization occurred at, what was the name? The
Wolzak house. Yeah,
so who are those people?
Yeah, no, exactly. The neighbors.
Yeah,
the neighbors. But,
exactly.
and people,
I just think let's just be careful for accusing Joe Biden of molesting his daughter.
No, we're not.
Is it creepy to take showers? Sure.
No.
I'll tell you this from a personal experience. Fact check this, Rob. She went to Tulane University in the late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of my friends went to Tulane University. I went to Florida State University. I would make a trip once a month, Tulane, Florida State. It's about a 3-4 hour drive across the Panhandle.
New Orleans, right?
Yeah, New Orleans. When I tell you that Ashley Biden was out there partying, having fun, and allegedly one of my friends, if not several of my friends, might have had fun with Ashley Biden. But yeah, that's college. But drugs, partying, Tulane, Mardi Gras. It's the 90s,
Well, here's
bro.
the thing. I don't know
Nothing on social media. What I
nobody-
will say now is that she's married. She's kids. She's got kids. She's a family woman.
Thank God she's doing better. But here's the thing: nobody's accusing him of anything, Adam. Nobody's even. I'm just saying. I'm telling you what the daughter is saying. Tom said what the son has said in text in dialogue. And what we're saying is we keep seeing videos of Joe Biden being disgusting. So I can assume, I can say it looks pretty freaking creepy. I guess what?
I gotta tell you,
was there
bro,
something weird?
We've
Adam,
seen
were
Joe
you
Biden like sniffing people's hair. I mean, he has to explain that, but
he'll never. It's cute. They laugh. They laugh because nobody says anything.
What have we actually seen though?
I don't want to see anything. Ask his daughter. That's what I'm saying. Ask his daughter.
I don't know.
Because there's a video of her
think you're grabbing at
calling.
straws,
No.
bro.
Adam, I'm telling you.
Look, I get that there's a lot of people out there that want to believe you and want to believe you're right.
No, Adam, right
there's
about
nothing here.
Hold on, no, Adam, and here's the problem, bro. I'm at least standing on a mount. I'm saying this is what I'm seeing, and how much more do you need to hear or see that the daughter is saying my father showered me at an inappropriate age? What? It's coming from the daughter. I'm not grasping for this. She's obviously was over sexualized. This is Jill's daughter. Hunter Biden is a freaking crackhead that does drugs, records everything, sleeps with all these girls. He sleeps with his dead brother's wife. This whole family is effed up. All the kids are effed up. Period. All of them. So you have to ask, what was the father doing? Maybe it's the father. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. All right? I drank, Adam. I was an alcoholic. You know why?
I'll accuse him. You're freaking. If you're showering with your daughter, you're a pedophile, right? Don't care. He's a pedophile. But then again, the loony left don't have a problem with pedophilia because they teach it in schools. So, whatever. Anyway, just wanted to get these videos out there, this information that the loony left don't believe. I'm not the only one saying it, so. Welcome to another episode of Joe Biden is a pedophile, but the loony left doesn't care. So this is Timcast IRL, which is the first place I heard about this before I started doing my research, because that's how, I find stuff to research, is I hear about it and go, well, it could be false, could be true. I'd already reported on the diary like months ago when it first came out, but everyone kept saying, oh, it's unconfirmed. It's unconfirmed. Yeah, the contents of the diary are unconfirmed. Yeah, okay. So here's Timcast confirming my story from months ago.
We have this from the Gateway Pundit. Ashley Biden officially confirms her diary, where she talks about showers with her dad, Joe Biden, is real, an emotional letter to judge. And I wanted to pull up the Gateway Pundit because they actually reported the news, but I'm going to throw it to our good friends over at Snopes, who updated their article titled, "Did Ashley Biden accuse Joe Biden of inappropriate behavior in a leaked diary?" Quote, "I will forever have to deal with the fact that my personal journal can be viewed online," Ashley Biden wrote to a district court judge. Wow. True. On April 29, 2024, Snopes changed the rating of this fact check from unproven to true based on testimony provided by Ashley Biden. In an April 8th letter to a New York judge requesting jail time for one of the two people convicted of stealing her diary, Biden wrote, which I just read, I will forever have to deal with the fact that my personal journal can be viewed online. Previous versions of this fact check noted strong evidence the diary existed, but argued that no source had authenticated the contents of the pages published online, writing that the authenticity of photographs reported to be from a diary is a separate question from the factual existence of a diary. My response to that, Snopes, is there's no proof Donald Trump had any classified documents. There's a photo of it. They're claiming they recovered the evidence, but they could have made it up. So until there's proof, it's a ridiculous notion. Look, Trump had the documents. The question is, as president, was he allowed to have classified documents or not? Not whether they were real. We know that this woman took the diary. We know that she sold it. We know Veritas had it. We know Veritas passed it off to National File. We know National File had the diary and then reported on it and posted images. Why would anyone assume it was fake? The corporate press was screaming to the high heavens, no. While it may be true that some woman did have it, give it to Project Veritas, who gave it to National File, and National File did report on it, the images they published may be fake. Therefore, unproven. It's a ridiculous concept. But now it's Snopes confirmed Joe Biden seems to have taken inappropriate showers with his young daughter.
And doesn't this just remind you of the laptop?
Exactly.
I mean, this is just like the laptop. It's not mine. It's fake. This is not real. Russian disinformation, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, then he shows up in court, Hunter, and is like, yeah, that's my laptop. I need it back.
Yep.
And didn't he like sue the people who had it or something?
Yes, that's
he
what I'm
acts like
saying.
he is the victim.
Yes,
and that's
yeah.
Okay, that's enough of that. I'm not going to sit there because for like 16 minutes they go on in circles about the laptop, about basically about the how news media is just biased crap. Because I don't listen to either side. What's funny is the only people I see mentioning Fox News are the loony left. So I'm trying to figure out who's what, because I don't get Fox News here at all. I just know loony leftists are idiots instinctually. I don't need Fox News to tell me that. But that was where I heard about the diary in the first place. So after this, I'm going to go using modern technology, and we're going to read the articles from Snopes. Actually, I'm going to read an article from Rebel News, which is a Canadian news source first, because I like to go to foreign sources too. That way they can't say, well, they're biased for Biden. No, it's a new Canadian news source. So. Now we're going to go over to Rebel News, and I'm going to have my computer read the article to you. That way you know I'm not changing words or anything. It's the computer right from the website. The website will be up. I'm not going to scroll, though, because, just let the computer read what's going on with the diary. I want to give you multiple sources.
Snopes updates assessment of Ashley Biden's diary from unproven to true. I will forever have to deal with the fact that my personal journal can be viewed online, Ashley Biden wrote in the letter, published online by the New York Times. 1 by Ian Miles Chong 2. 3. May 14, 2024 4. 5. News. AP Photos / Susan Walsh. Remove ads. Left-leaning fact-checking website Snopes has updated its assessment of the contents of a stolen diary belonging to President Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, confirming its contents. The article, originally published in early April, explored the claim that Ashley Biden's diary describes actions taken toward her by her father when she was a child as probably not appropriate. Initially, Snopes had rated the claim as unproven, but a revised version published recently changed the rating to true. The update follows an April 8 letter to a New York judge, in which Ashley Biden requested jail time for one of the two people convicted of stealing her diary in the run-up to the 2020 election. I will forever have to deal with the fact that my personal journal can be viewed online, Ashley Biden wrote in the letter, published online by the New York Times. Snopes noted that previous versions of the fact-check had acknowledged strong evidence of the diary's existence but argued that no source had authenticated the contents of the pages published online by National File. The earlier iteration of the Snopes fact-check claimed that the authenticity of photographs purported to be from a diary is a separate question from the factual existence of a diary. However, with the latest assessment, Snopes concluded that Ashley Biden's letter to the court, in Snopes' view, provides that authentication. In her letter to the court, Ashley Biden revealed that her journal was part of her efforts to heal after being the victim of a crime in her early 20s. She claimed that she was targeted because her father had been running for president and that the publicity surrounding the diary had led her to be constantly re-traumatized by it. Ashley Biden also expressed concern about the misinterpretation of her private writings, stating, repeatedly, "I hear others grossly misinterpret my once private writings and lob false accusations that defame my character and those of the people I love." The confirmation of the diary's contents by Snopes has reignited discussions about the ethics of publishing private information and the impact such actions can have on individuals, particularly those in the public eye. The incident also highlights the challenges faced by fact-checking organizations in verifying and assessing the authenticity of sensitive information in an era of heightened political polarization and misinformation.
Yeah, so Joe was fucking with his daughter. And, well, that's cool, I guess, to the loony left. But, supposedly falsifying business records is just too much. Got it. Well, I just stumbled across a video by Robert Reich. Funny. You ever notice that the loony left have more names that sound kind of Nazi-ish than Americans? Schultz, Reich, weird. Anyway, just stumbled across a video of him complaining about, or showing a bunch of loony leftists complaining about federal employees getting fired. Everyone realizes that Robert Reich was a federal employee who made millions working for the government. How does somebody on a six-figure-a-year salary make millions? He used to be the labor secretary. So, anyway, yes, federal employees serve at the discretion of the president. And I see a bunch of comments down there. Nobody elected Elon Musk. Well, nobody elected Biden's wife either. So, of course, I didn't elect Biden either, because, fucking who's going to actually, if you're halfway intelligent, you don't vote for someone with a pudding brain. So, yes, they're very upset that, people who aren't doing their job are losing their job. They're also very upset that we're deporting MS-13 gang members.
Why? Oh, that one's easy. And ladies, we keep telling you, but for some reason, you don't want to listen. All right, we all know what that reason is because you don't like the answer you're getting. So you're going to keep asking it, hoping you're going to get a different one. But what the heck? Let's try again. The why is because y'all seem to think that you're the table. Y'all think you're a princess who deserves to be treated like one. Y'all think that you deserve the world while offering nothing, literally nothing in return. Not even that bare minimum y'all keep droning on and on about. That's the real reason why, ladies, and you can ask the question as many times as you want. It's not going to change. I know. I'm being a bit unfair and harsh because the reality is you do bring some things to the table. A few things. Let's see. There's the never-ending drama and poor pity-me parties. There's the delusional, unrealistic expectations and constant demands for more. There's the narcissism on a level so deep even the Marianas Trench is jealous. And the biggest gift y'all give to men? The stress. The constant, never-ending, non-stop stress that you bring to men's lives day after day, week after week, year after year. Yeah, no, we're not going to tolerate that. Sorry, darling, but men are done dealing with that. They've walked away and aren't going to be coming back anytime soon. Today's men are off living their lives in peace, in joy, in happiness and freedom. Freedom from the anchor that is a relationship with today's modern women. But hey, good news, it's spring and the shelters are full. Perhaps you can adopt a cat or two to fill the void. It helps you, it helps them. It's a win-win. So why not?
Now I have to add to that video. I'm married, so, but I've been through enough marriages to tell you how to have a happy one, or at least, a functional one. Think of it like a business. You negotiate every day for everything. And if you bring good things to the table for each other, it's going to be a good relationship. It's going to be a good business. If one of you isn't pulling their weight and the other one's pulling more than their weight, well, he's going to get rid of you because it's not going to be to his benefit to keep you around. Same with the female. The modern female believes they're owed something. That's my observation. You think you're owed. Everybody actually thinks you're owed something. And I think the greatest quote comes from the Declaration of Independence. You have the right to life. You have the right to liberty. You can do whatever you want, and you have the right. You have the right to pursue. You motherfuckers keep forgetting that pursue part of happiness. You have the right to the pursuit of happiness. Pursuit. It doesn't mean someone gives it to you. If you're not happy, go off and find it somewhere else. Do something different. You have the right to do that. No one has to give you happiness. So that's how you keep a happy relationship, is realizing you have a part to play in it. Like a business, you have to negotiate every day. You have to bring something to the table every day. And it has to be beneficial to both of you. Like he's going to give you something, you're going to give him something. It has to be beneficial. If it isn't, one of you's got to go. Most divorces, by the way, in the United States are initiated by women, so these modern women wonder why they're alone. It's maybe because they, keep throwing out the good ones. The one thing I haven't commented on yet is this Carmelo Anthony case. The dude with the knife and and people are sending him money because they're idiots. He's going to prison, folks. Maybe for 25 to life, maybe, because Texas doesn't have a second-degree murder. So it's first-degree murder in Texas. They also have the death penalty. I don't think he's going to get the death penalty because it was, the crime of stupidity. But he's going to prison, and these people are sending him money, and he's blowing it on cars, houses. Car he can't even drive, by the way, because he can't leave the house. He's under house arrest. But he's spending it on cars and houses. Don't you people feel stupid? I guess his family was already well off, so you just financed a vacation, maybe? I don't know. He's going to prison as a self-defense instructor. A push and talking shit never anywhere in the world warrants putting a sharp piece of steel inside someone's body. So you people enjoy sending your money, hard-earned money, to idiots like this and whining about some MS-13 gang member while the rest of us, worry about Americans.
In the shadows of a neon glow, voices echo from below. The shouting truths that twist and bend, lost in the chaos where reason ends. Someone's missing the eloquent night, dancing in madness. Oh, what a sight! The thorny movement's just a whispered tale, a dream so wild it's bound to derail. I'm a straitjacket for God's sake. These solutions are starting to shake. Crazy leftists are fire in their eyes, building castles made of lies. It's not a movement, it's a dream come true. But can you handle this? Can we break through? Fractured minds with painted smiles, they're laughing loud but running miles. Spitting venom dressed as hope, climbing high on a slippery slope. While sanity slips like sand through hands, we're screaming out for some solid ground plans. The world spins faster than our dreams can chase, caught in the whirlwind of this reckless race. Give them a straitjacket for God's sake. These solutions are starting to shake. Crazy leftists are fire in their eyes, building castles made of lies. It's not a movement, it's a dream come true. But can you handle this? Can we break through? The world spins faster than our dreams can chase, caught in the whirlwind of this reckless race. Get them a straitjacket for God's sake. These solutions are starting to shake. Crazy leftists. Flash, cameras clicking quick. Showtime, super Gringo slick. Headlines buzzing like a mix. 20 seconds, that's the fix. Short and sharp, just like a dart. Gringo's antics steal your heart. In a flash, the show will start. Super shorts, that's where we part. Short and sharp, just like a dart. Gringo's antics steal your heart. In a flash, the show will start. Super shorts, that's where we part.